Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest. Every summer, Calgary, Alberta is home to the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. The world's best cowboys and bucking stock come together for a Western rodeo celebration forged in the true spirit of the frontier cowboy. When the rodeo ends, the cowboys head home, while the world-class bucking stock comes here. Welcome to the Calgary Stampede Ranch, the premier producer of rodeo rough stock in the world. Located just outside of Hanna in east central Alberta, the ranch was purchased in 1961 in an effort to guarantee the production of bucking stock and to improve its quality with the Born to Buck breeding program. 23,000 acres of prime Alberta prairie are home to 400 horses, 60 bulls, a wide variety of wildlife, and one ranch foreman. Raymond Goodman, a world champion bullfighter, now takes on a challenge with a different set of horns.
If I was a horse, I'd sure want to live here because it's a pretty good life. Where I come from, eastern Saskatchewan, we have a few more trees here, so I guess if I could add anything to this area, I think it would be trees, but I guess this is the way God made it, and it's prairie and it's native grassland, and it's great for running bucking horses. A lot of room for them to grow up and live basically how they naturally live. Come on, kids. My role as ranch foreman of the Calgary Stampede Ranch is to the day-to-day operations and handling of the livestock, the care of the bucking horses, and supervising of the breeding program on the day-to-day basis. The rodeo manager is Winston Bruce, who's had the job here for the last over 30 years, and he'll be retiring, and Robin Burwash will be taking over, and Robin's national finals bareback rider and Canadian champion. So the reins are being passed over from Winston Bruce as a world champion bronc rider. His knowledge of bucking horses, he's developed the Born to Buck breeding program to what it is today. And hopefully Robin and I can continue to raise quality bucking horses, some of the world champions that he's raised throughout the years, and continue to do it again.
The sophisticated Born to Buck breeding program involves pairing selected proven mares with one of a group of stallions that the Stampede owns or leases from contractors across North America.
Genetically, these bucking horses, they want to buck. It's like we're not making them buck. We're not forcing them to buck. They've developed great bloodlines, just like in the horse racing industry or any other breeding program. A line of bucking horses, and they do it because they love it. You can see it right from the first time you start bucking them. They're proud when they do it. They just love to buck, and you can't just take any horse and make a bucking horse. They have to want to be a bucking horse. So that's the reason for the breeding program, is because we're making bucking horses through genetics.
That is a bareback horse.
On a 23,000-acre ranch with 14 pastures and 70 miles of fence, Raymond relies on some hard-working horsemen to lend a hand.
A lot of our extra labor are what we call day hands, and they're local area ranchers that come out here, and we have some fellas that have been out here as long as the ranch has been here, and they work part-time as day hands, and they're all very experienced horsemen and very good with the bucking stock and handling livestock. And we could go out and probably hire guys to come work at the ranch, but you can't hire horsemen, and they don't do it for the money anyways, these day hands. They do it because they love what they're doing. They're all hard-working guys that have a lot of things they could do, but they spend a lot of their time and dedicate a lot of time to the Stampede, and they're very valuable members of the Stampede community. We make sure that the bucking horses are in great physical shape. In the morning after they're grained, and they have a little time of rest, and we have an area where we'll go and we'll exercise them. Today, we won't go through the normal exercising because they're turned out on a pasture, and just the trailing them in is just kind of a nice light jog. But on a regular day, even when we're not going to a rodeo, we'll exercise them, approximately a mile or 2 miles. And just get their legs a little better shape. And it's not really for the bucking. A lot of them will buck, like as long as they're healthy and happy, they'll buck, but it's to prepare them for the truck ride. Just because of the quality of the bucking horses here at the Calgary Stampede, there is a demand, and people do want to see these horses buck, so they do get to travel around and go to some other rodeos.
That's the horse, and I mean, look at him explode.
And I guess out of any of the things of modern technology, they haven't built a truck that's quite suitable yet, that doesn't put a little extra wear and tear on the animals. So the better shape they're in, the better that they handle the traveling.
162.
I use a term here every once in a while, and it's getting into the mind of a horse. And I spend a lot of time riding horses or shorting horses, just their actions and what they do and little things that they do and why they do it. I'm studying to be an animal behaviorist, I guess. This is a great place to be. I spent 20 years fighting bulls. Rodeo's been a really big part of my life.
Dead 3.
The guy has all the opportunities in the world to spend time around stock here. And this is my dream job. Like, ever since I was little, all I wanted to be was a cowboy, just being around bucking horses. Easter 51, or is that Frank 51?
For the horses at the Calgary Stampede Ranch, it's wide open spaces, oats, hay, and free-range grass, complimentary grooming, and free medical care. Life is good.
It's a great life they have. 8 seconds a weekend. You might get bucked 10 or 15 times a year, and all the hay and grain, fresh, clean water, and 36 sections is 23,000 acres to roam the rest of the time. It's a pretty good life.
If you have a story idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.